The Democrats claim that President Trump withheld military aid to Ukraine while asking its leader to announce an investigation of his political opponent, Joe Biden, and his son Hunter is legally deficient and partisan, argues White House lead counsel Patsy Widakuswara.
The president has done absolutely nothing wrong, and that these articles of impeachment do not begin to approach the standard required by the Constitution, and in fact, they themselves will establish nothing beyond those articles.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye.
House Democrats are detailing the Trump-Ukraine timeline in 3 days of opening arguments, a total of 24 hours, trying to convince senators that what the president did amounts to an abuse of power and obstruction of congressional oversight, and he must be removed.
We are countries built on a commitment to our people, not unyielding loyalty to a president who would be king.
On Saturday, Trump's legal team will begin their 3 days of opening arguments. The president continues to insist there was no quid pro quo in his interaction with Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky, and his lawyers are echoing this defense.
The president's defense seems to depend upon this argument that what I did was not a high crime and misdemeanor, and even if it was, it's not sufficient to justify removing me from office.
Scholars still debate what constitutes high crimes and misdemeanor, which is a basis for impeachment and a phrase that is in the U.S. Constitution. The result of this trial will become legal precedent for future presidents.
It's unwise to broaden the circle so that anything that you don't like becomes a high crime. Maybe it's too narrow to say you must violate have an indictable offense to do that, but that's a matter of advocacy and what persuades the senators and eventually the people.
Trump's lawyers accuse Democrats of not providing evidence to back their claims. At the same time, they defend Trump against the second article of impeachment, obstruction of Congress, by arguing that the president was asserting executive privilege in blocking officials from testifying.
In many ways, that's as serious a charge as the first one, because it's basically saying to Congress, you can't investigate anything I do as president, because I won't give you any information, no one will testify, you won't be able to learn what happened.
Trump said there is another reason why former National Security Advisor John Bolton, a key person in the investigation, should not testify.
What happens if he reveals what I think about a certain leader and it's not very positive, and then I have to deal on behalf of the country?
Next week, after both sides have delivered opening arguments, senators will have 12 hours of questioning, then another round of votes to determine whether they will call additional witnesses. Patsy Widakuswara, VOA News at the White House.